about that for some good timing, right? Right on the countdown. Here we are, counting down the last day of the year. Welcome, my friends. Take Two Tuesday. Here we are. December 31st, 2024. Another year gone. Can you believe it? Welcome. My name is Ken. I'm here at the Stamps of Life. We are in Orange County, California. I want to welcome all of you to Take Two Tuesday. If this is a new show for you, what we do here at the Stamps of Life once a week on Tuesdays, we go back in time and we take a look at some items from our inventory. Today we have die sets to look at, and a stamp set. Sometimes we have fold it to make cards with, items that can be used on scrapbook pages. We use inks and brushes and blocks and all kinds of different things. We'll do some die cutting. So we do all that on Take Two Tuesday. It's a chance for people who are new to the Stamps of Life to take a second look at some of the items that we have available, but you will never see them because we always are presenting new items. So this is a chance to catch up. And then this is also the chance for many of you who already have these items to be reminded that you have them. And we want you to get the most out of the items that you've purchased from us. So a refresher, and hopefully you'll be able to find these items. That's the key, right? Now, where did I put it? I know I have that, but where did I leave it? That is always the question. And you know when you can picture it in your mind, but then you can never find it where you thought it was going to be, that is a bummer. That is a bummer. I spend so much time looking for things, wasted time, and so it's a frustrating thing in life. I guess it either means we have too much stuff if we can't find it, or we're not organized enough, or it wasn't important enough to save it in a spot that we would find it, or the worst thing is our memory is really awful and we just can't remember, right? So welcome everyone. Let's see. I'm going to see if I can pop some of these comments up here. I'm trying to figure out how to do this. So Happy New Year to everyone. Let's see. We've got a few new people here today that I have not seen. So maybe some of you have the day off. I am going to try to get out of here early, but let's see. I'm going to pop some of these comments up. I see April's out there. Hello, April. Grendelia's with us. I know you watched before. Hi, Grendelia. Teresa, you're a regular. Hi, Teresa. Who else do we have? Shelby. Welcome, Shelby. And Kimberly and Brenda. I don't see Brenda here too often. So hi, Brenda. Happy 2025. Hi, Ruth. Debbie. Good to see you. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're healthy. The last time I heard that you were having some problems like a cut finger, or I can't remember. Lots of crazy stuff seems to happen to you, Ruth. Debbie. Hi, Phyllis and Noreen. Hi, welcome. I'm trying to say hi to everybody here real quick. We'll get rolling. Hi, Danielle in San Diego. You are close to us, Danielle, just up the freeway or down the freeway from here. Diane and let's see, another Diane. We got two Dianes. Hi, Diane and Susan. Awesome. Okay, we are going to get rolling. I do have, let's see if I can get rid of that last one there. Awesome. We have a few questions and some fun stuff. I hope that 2024 was an awesome year for you, but 2024 is almost in the past, and we're looking forward to 2025. So thinking ahead, I'm hoping for a really good year in 2025, and I hope that 2025 is going to be like the best year ever for you. That's what I hope for myself, our family, our company, the church we go to, all that kind of stuff. So hopefully 2025 is going to be a really good year. Oh, what is going on here? Ah, that's not good. What did I do? Let me see. I messed up something. Okay, I found it. I think I fixed it. Good. So we will finish off the 2024 with this episode, and we're looking forward to 2025. my question for you, even before we get started and thinking about New Year's, is do you make New Year's not revolutions, resolutions? Do you make New Year's resolutions? Are you a resolution maker? I do not typically. I just kind of, when I look ahead in life, I think there's always things I want to change about myself or things I want to get better at, but I never really put it down like in a resolution saying, this is what I'm going to do. So are you a resolution person? Do you like to make resolutions? And then the next question is, are you good at keeping them? If you do, are you good at keeping your resolution? Everybody's saying nope, nope, nope. Everybody's saying no so far. It's like, why commit to something we're probably not going to do anyway, right? But that's a poor way to look at it. We got to try our best. So maybe let's not call it a resolution. Hi, Mary from KC. Is that Kansas City, I guess, right? Welcome. Let's see, Danielle, I'm trying to look at your question. I have a couple of Visa gift cards I want to use after the live release sign. If I use them to buy gift cards, am I able to use the gift cards right away? I believe they would be good right away. Once you get that code, it should be good. Yes, I believe that would work, Danielle. Faylene is not in the office, so if you have tried to email us and you're not getting your responses, she's been off for a couple of days. The email box is getting a little bit full, but we will start getting caught up here right after New Year's tomorrow. So if you are not a resolution maker, like it looks like everybody's a no. Mary says, yep. Oh, yep, in Kansas City, good. If you are a resolution maker, good for you. And do whatever you can if it's something that will be beneficial to you to really make that happen. And if you're not, that's okay. But we should all, like I was saying, we should always all be looking for areas in our lives that we can improve. So let's try to do something better in 2025 than we did in 2024. Whatever it could be, whatever area in your life, we can always get better at different things. That's what I think anyhow. Okay, let's see what else. Oh, I wanted to mention, because I did ship these already, but last week our new Fold It Club came out. And if you haven't seen that yet, it's a wrapped flower, and I'm going to put it over here on our little table so you can see the items you get. It's called Wrap Flower Fold It Club this month. It comes with a extra stencil. So usually when you're in this club, you get 2 stencils. Let's see if this is in focus. Yeah. You get 2 stencils, but this month you get a third. So Stephanie has added in a third stencil. So that is nice. Let me see. No, I don't have access to that, but there should be a bonus stencil in there. There's the packaging for the stencils. They all come in the one kit, so you should find there. It says 2 up here, but my understanding is there's a bonus one in there. So you'll have to open it up and check it out. And there is the Fold It that you'll get. And I have a couple samples. Here's just the actual Fold It card. I think most of these cards are made with the fold on the side. And you could do it on the top as well. Lots of pretty flowers in there. Flowers that won't die, it says, for your birthday. And then here's another idea where, with your Fold Its, you can add them to card fronts. And you can also make it just as a regular Fold It. Most of them work as a box. This one, I don't think will work as a box because your box would be down there at the bottom, and that would be kind of weird. You might be able to pull it off, but I don't know how. And then, of course, in like a banner or a bulletin board, that kind of stuff. It also comes with an idea card. And then you're going to find ideas on our website, too. There'll be a folder. So that is out. I shipped them last week, right after Christmas. Most of them went out. So you can get in there and you can get that it is available if you want it. Who else is here? Hi, Rita. Damari, welcome, welcome. It's nice to have all of you here. Are most of you off work today, or I know a lot of you are retired already too, correct? But I see we have some extra people here. Did you get the day off from work, which would be nice? Again, like I said, I'm trying to work a short day here and get out of here probably just a little bit after we finish up this episode. What else do I have to cover? So I talked about the fold cup. Oh, tonight is a big night. If you haven't heard, as we're finishing off the year strong right now, we're going to do it again tonight. We have a live release. First, tonight, there is going to be a club reveal. So if you're a diehard club member, a Stamp Club member, Stephanie is going to reveal the club shipment that is going out starting on the 1st. It won't actually go out on the 1st because the post office isn't open, but I'll get a lot of them in the mail tomorrow, and then for sure they'll start moving by Thursday, right? Thursday would be the 2nd, yeah. But a lot of them will get in the mail. We'll do a club reveal tonight, so that would be fun. We'll be on YouTube and Facebook and Instagram Live. That's going to be 5 p.m. Pacific time, and what is that? 8 p.m. Eastern time. I still remember all my numbers. So I hope to see you there. Yeah, double episodes here. I think last week we did that too. Like on Monday we had back-to-back No Makeup Monday and Take Two Tuesday, and then tonight we're doing Take Two Tuesday here early, and then later on tonight we will do just a live release with the club reveal at the beginning. So you don't want to miss that. Tell your friends. We have some brand new items being listed on the website tonight, right around probably 4:35. So you're going to want to check that out. That will be fun. We'll have a good time tonight. And that will be a fun way to spend New Year's Eve together. If you're not going out, you can hang out with us. If you have any other plans, it does get recorded. So if you miss it, you can go back and watch it at a later time. So that is tonight. All right, I already asked you about New Year's resolutions. I didn't see any takers on that. I guess we're all the kind of people who don't want to overcommit ourselves, huh? Hi, Nancy. Welcome, welcome. Who else is here? Rita, awesome. And Annette. See a few different names. Linda T, hi. Oh, Linda says she was tired yesterday, and I'm tired today, so I am retired. Yes, I know that feeling some days. But we got to just keep pushing on. We just got to keep pushing on. And it's always seems like when a new year comes, for some reason, it feels like we just we can have a fresh start. It's just another day, you know. I mean, tomorrow is just an extension of kind of today, but there's something about a new year that kind of makes us feel like we have a fresh start and fresh opportunity to do some different things. And so let's look forward to 2025. And I always like to have the expectation that God's going to do something great in all of your guys' lives and my life as well as we come into a new year. So let's be open to that. We're going to get going here. Let's see, I am going to do a stamp and die combination here that we're going to look at. We do have an alphabet set with a bunch of different dies that are uppercase alphabet, and there's also some symbols and numbers. So we'll take a look at those. We'll do our good news segment at the end. That's where we get our Bibles out. If you haven't read ahead, or if you haven't read to keep up, we're doing Matthew chapter 19. So even while I'm demoing some of this stuff, when it gets kind of slow and boring and I'm not as fast as I should be, as like Stephanie would be, you can go ahead and read Matthew chapter 19 if you want. That'll catch you up to where we are. For next week, for the good news segment, we would be in Matthew chapter 20. We're going through the whole book of Matthew, and I think it has 28 chapters. So we're getting there. We're making progress. All right, so that kind of lays out our program. So let's get started. Our first collection that we're going to look at today is called Floral Hearts to Stamp. And I should have a little slide here for this. I don't know why I'm a little slow on this stuff today. There we go. From April of 2021. So this is just about 3.5 years old. I guess this upcoming April would be a 4-year-old collection. There is the Floral Hearts to Stamp, really nice art and some sentiments. When I saw the hearts, my first thought was, hey, this is a Valentine's collection. But then if you look at the sentiments, there's happy, and then there's for Mother's Day, happy Grandparents' Day, happy birthday, and there is Valentine's, happy Valentine's Day sentiment. A real nice heart with some flowers and kind of like some vines, some leaves. And it really comes out nice when you stamp it. I did stamp it yesterday and die cut a little bit myself to practice with it. And then there's the die set. Let's check these out on the website to see what we have here. We also do have, I'll have some fun facts here coming up with about New Year's. So we have that coming up after I show you these ideas that I have. Let's switch over to our website. Nope, not that one. I did this last week too. I kept hitting the wrong camera. So here we go. Floral Hearts to Stamp. Give me 1 second. I'm going to get a drink of water here. Okay, this is Floral Hearts to Stamp, but it's our clear stamps. Remember, our clear stamps are made in the USA, so they're going to be really nice, high quality. You're going to get great impressions out of these stamps. This collection has 12 stamps in it, and then it does have the coordinating dies. So we have some card samples on here, and so you'll see some themes. Again, my first thought was, oh, this is all Valentine's stuff, but no, Happy Mother's Day. And seeing that it was released in April, I can see why that happened, that there's so many Mother's Day. There's the Happy Grandparents' Day card. That's a neat look. Happy Mother's Day again. And Happy Mother's Day. Happy Day. All kinds of different ways you can use this one. I think you could even make like not a full A2 size fold it, but you could make a fold it out of this. And there's the stamp set with all the different stamps you get. You scroll down, you'll see the Floral Heart to Stamp dies right there. And I believe it has the same samples, but let's look real quick. Oh, that's a different sample. And there are a couple other ones. Yeah, some slim lines. Oh yeah, there's several different good ideas on here for you to check out. So you can find those on the website. Just type in floral and heart, it will pop it up. And then there's the add-ons. These are really important. The adhesive sheets, you'll want to use those with that. Let's go back a page. And there's a few other items here, some other sentiments, a little mixture of things you might want to have. I know this one's, whoops, I lost my camera over here. Hang on. My camera keeps falling out of this little camera holder. What is going on there? Okay. Slipping and sliding over there. But this one here has been real popular. It is in stock right now, the Happy Anniversary. That's something extra. But those sentiments would go nice with the hearts as well. So that's on the website. And let me show you the samples that I have. Let's make sure our chat's going okay. Hi, Frank and Sharon. Hi, Frank and Sharon. I see you there. Okay, I do have some nice samples. And let me grab those out. I think there's one slim line. And then, whoops, you can't see me. Where'd I go? Here we are. Sorry about that. Oh, got it. Okay, so I got a bunch of samples. So let me share those with you. And again, there's a good variety of ideas here, which is kind of nice. Helps us to remember that, to think outside the box a little bit about different ways that we can use our stamps and dies. So here it is, as I was just saying, I mentioned I fold it. So our designer did the fold it on the side. Happy Mother's Day card. It says, I love you on the front. And here's another Happy Mother's Day card, layering the dies and coloring in some of the stamps. That looks really nice on an A2 size card. That is the horizontal look. And then as a vertical, also in an A2 size card, Mother's Day. And inside, world's best mom, I think it says. That's fun. We're away from Mother's Day, but this will be great for Valentine's Day. And then when Mother's Day rolls around, you'll be good to go. You'll have some nice stamps and dies all ready to use. If you have them, this will be a reminder for you to get these out. I was really looking at this one, trying to figure out how our designer did that, but I really like this. It's almost like a gingerbread cookie is what it makes me think of with icing on there, but I couldn't quite figure out how they did it. So that one's a challenging one for me, but it's a happy Grandparents' Day. And we see our two little owls here, and they're saying happy anniversary. And here's just kind of a pick-me-up card. This is cool. This is a, oh, it doesn't say. Cheryl didn't tell us what kind of card base this was. I always forget this one. Some kind of stand-up or step-up or slider. I'm not sure, but that's fun. So it looks like this when you get the card, like an A2 card, but it folds up and then it will kind of stand up like that. Isn't that nice? That says, "Shine, enjoy the moment." Another Mother's Day card, and I have one slim line here. That's fun. And then this one says, "Feel beautiful because you are." So they've added some of our little dragonflies to that, and a dotted slimline background. That's a slimline card there. Okay, we have all of those. And I'll take these over to the workstation here in just a minute. But before we do that, let's have some fun facts about and there. Now this is kind of a funny one, guys. When it comes to New Year's, there are some interesting facts, there are some fun facts, and there are some real oddball things. So you get a good variety when you yeah, Teresa said easel card. You're right. I think it's an easel card, but I feel like we call it something different. I think we call it something different. I'll have to try to look that up on the website. I'm going to type in easel and see what happens if it pops up. Because I did like that card die set that we saw there at the end. It is not showing up. What could that one be called? I don't know what that one's called. Let's see. I'm going to try a step and see what happens if anything comes up. No, it's all Stephanie stuff. No, I can't find it. But it is on the website somewhere, but it doesn't show up when I typed in easel for that last card we saw. So as we're talking about New Year's, we are here, New Year's Eve, New Year's Day coming up tomorrow. Do you guys have any traditions, anything you do at New Year's time? That would be my question for you in this segment. Do you have any traditions? I never went to the Rose Parade, but it is a big tradition out here in Southern California, in the LA area, to go to the Rose Parade. I never went, but I think Stephanie went a long time ago. And I think she had fun. I think she must have been much younger. She used to be in band too, a marching band. So I don't know if she ever got to march in that parade. I don't think so. But do you have any traditions like that? The Rose Parade out here. I have the tradition of sitting around. Well, in the past, sitting around watching college football games on January 1st. That was like the biggest tradition for me. But there are any special things you do on New Year's Eve? Do you do anything with your family? Is there anything you like to do to kind of point to a fresh start? Do you have any traditions that you or your family like to follow or you associate with New Year's? That would be my question for you. Danielle says, I think you called them stand-up cards. You're right. It could be stand-up. Let me try. So when I did step, I could not find anything with that. We'll try one more time. So I'm going to read these facts, these fun facts, and like I said, guys are gonna be that was weird. Or, no, when I do stand, that doesn't help me either. Oh, well, hopefully I can figure out what that was. If I can figure it out and I can tell you by tonight on the episode, I will. If any of you want that. Let's see. Okay, we're moving on to the facts that we have here. Again, there's some wild ones. Here we go. Okay, so if you're has anybody ever been to Times Square for New Year's Eve? You know where they drop the big ball? And for us, that's 9 o'clock here on Pacific Coast, but it'd be 12 a.m. on the East Coast. So that's a tradition thing. And they create, it says 50 tons of trash are left in Times Square after New Year's Eve celebrations. Wow. Dirty people, right? They just throw their trash around. 50 tons. And it says the confetti that is dropped in Times Square is holding secret messages. Did anybody know this? It says the confetti in Times Square has thousands of people's wishes written on them. In 2015, Wishfetti became a part of the tradition. People write their wishes for the new year and submit them to the wish wall in Times Square. And those wishes are turned into confetti that falls all over the crowd at midnight. I never knew that. Did anybody know that? So here we get some of the funny ones. It's considered good luck to make 7 if you're in Brazil. This is if you're in Brazil. And they are on the opposite, they're in the southern hemisphere. So New Year's for them is like a warm time. Think of a summer night. It's considered good luck to make 7 wishes while jumping 7 waves. So you can count on a good New Year's beach party down in Rio de Janeiro. That is in Brazil. So if you're in Brazil and you're in the southern hemisphere, it's nice and warm. You can go out and you can do some fun stuff like this, right? Nobody's jumping around in the river or the or jumping around on the beach in the waves. And even, well, some of the time we get some warm days here in Southern California, but across the rest of the country, it's too cold for that, right? Let's see if I can find my name here real quick. So everybody remembers who I am if you've forgotten, or if you're new, I guess. Huh? Oh, where is that? No, it's not there. Maybe under style. Yeah. Okay, there we go. Let's see, what else do we have so lots of trash, confetti with words on it, people in Brazil jumping into the ocean. If you hear plates breaking in Denmark on New Year's Eve, it's also a good luck thing. Everybody's trying to have good luck. Good luck on New Year's. We'll skip that. So we were people who aren't into resolutions. Well, that's okay, because it says 80% of resolutions made at the beginning of the year are forgotten by February. So no worries if you need to restart. So not only do they not keep their resolution, they totally forgot about what their resolution was. 80% of the people. That is pretty funny. Baby New Year is actually really old. Why would that be? Because Baby New Year has been around as a symbol of the holiday since 600 BC. So Baby New Year is getting quite old, I would say. The person who wrote the song, Auld Lang Syne, is that where should all acquaintance be forgot? I think that is the words. I don't know the whole song. Was not really the person who wrote it. It says the guy credited with Auld Lang Syne didn't fully write it. I guess he stole it from somebody else. Nice. The first Times Square New Year's party was thrown for a newspaper. It says the annual tradition of gathering in Times Square for New Year's started as a party to celebrate the opening of the New York Times building in 1904. Over 200,000 people attended. And they've done it every year except, does anybody know the years that got skipped when there was no celebration, no dropping of the ball, no party at Times Square? Does anybody know the year that happened? Does anybody know the year? I don't expect you to, but just for fun. Anybody know the year that there was no celebration in Times Square? Anybody know that one? Kind of tricky. If any of us were around, we would have been really little, but it was before my time. Julie said 2020. That was a good guess, Julie. But what it's telling me here is 1942 and 1943, and that was during World War II. But 1920, oh, you know why it wasn't 1920? I remember because we were out traveling, doing shows at the beginning of 1920. So that would have been 21. Maybe they allowed something because that would have been at the end of 2020, and then the New Year's Day would have been 21st. So the pandemic stuff started and the shutdown started like March, I think, right? March. So the only years were 1942 and 43 because of World War II. Instead of a ball, what do you think they use in Miami to celebrate? Instead of the big ball coming down in Times Square, what do you think they use to celebrate in Miami? They use a 35-foot metal orange. They use a big orange. A 35-foot, anywhere it has sunglasses too. We won't read that one. Okay, now this is a good one. If you like chocolate, you want to go to Hershey, Pennsylvania, because it says Hershey, Pennsylvania drops a giant Hershey kiss to ring in the new year. And the other Pennsylvania towns have some traditions that play off their names. In Mechanicsburg, they drop a wrench. In Dillsburg, they drop a pickle. So you can, if you go to Pennsylvania, you could celebrate with a Hershey kiss, a wrench, or a pickle. What would you pick? I'm still sticking with a Hershey kiss. Oh, this is crazy. If you like wine, this is the night. Americans drink about 360 million glasses of sparkling wine on New Year's Eve. Wow, that is crazy. Let's see. New Year's kiss started with the Romans, so that goes back in time. If you wanted to celebrate, to be the first person to celebrate the New Year, where would you go? This is a tricky one. A place called Christmas Island. It's in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. So that is where somewhere there's the date line, and they must be right next to the date line. So they are the first ones who get to celebrate the New Year. Christmas Island. It's also called Kiribati, also known as Christmas Island. Let's see. The last place is American Samoa. Now that is American Samoa is also down in the Pacific. So where the one country is on this side of the line, the timeline for each day, the other little island must be just right on this side. So they're probably pretty close to each other, but America Samoa is a day behind Christmas Island. This is a good one. I like this one. Now, I don't, but I'll read it, okay? So in New Year's is terrifying for children in Akita, Japan. Here's why. So the local tradition, these guys in Japan, they dress up. Now, I don't really like the demon part, but this part's funny. They dress up like demons. They have these weird masks. If you saw the picture over here, you'd see. And they go out to scare children into behaving for their parents. They go from house to house yelling things like, "Are there any crybabies at home? Or are naughty kids around?" Wow. That would kind of scare you if you're a little kid, right? I like to have kids, follow the instructions of their parents and not be naughty, but, that might be taking it a little bit far, but I think it's funny. Okay, here's the funny one too. Here's a funny one too. Yeah, fireworks. I know Stephanie's parents' dog Lemon does not like fireworks. You're right, Danielle. You're right. If you live in Italy, wearing red underwear is considered lucky. Now, I think that's pretty funny too. So I don't know about you guys, but if you want to pretend you're in Italy, you have to break out your red underwear today. You'll want to do that. Grapes are also supposedly lucky. Spanish households carry on the tradition of scarfing down 12 grapes in the first 12 seconds of the new year. The grape represents each month of the year. The rumor has it that this whole thing started as a marketing tactic for winemakers. How about that? Pork and black-eyed peas are good luck, symbolize good fortune. Oh, here's a funny one too. Stay away from lobster and chicken. Lobster and chicken are bad luck, I guess, because they can walk backwards, or the chicken can scratch itself backwards. So don't eat. I like lobster and I like chicken, but don't celebrate New Year's with those poor guys. What else? We're almost done here. Some other ones. Here's a good one. If you had a little bit too much wine, remember how we just talked about that? About people drinking a lot of wine on New Year's Eve? Don't worry about it. The AAA offers free ride homes to people who maybe have had too much to drink in most states. So there you go. If you drink too much tonight, you party too much, and you need a ride home, don't drive yourself. AAA will come get you. You just have to figure out how to call them when maybe if you drank too much. It might be kind of hard to figure that out. But anyhow, is that it? Let's see. That is it. So be safe tonight. I guess that's the main thing. Have fun. Be safe. And let's finish off the New Year's with an exciting evening, and then get ready for a brand new year tomorrow. That would be awesome. Let's go check this stuff out. Enough of that talking. Oh, where's my table? There it is. Okay, so I have this first collection. Here we are. The won't need that cardstock right yet. Let's go ahead and we can try to stamp this. I did stamp it yesterday. It's a little bit larger stamp. And you are going to need, I think the size block I have here is a 4x5 block. And we also, as well as 4x5 blocks, we do have 4x6, which is a little more common. And I found a 4x5-inch block yesterday, as the stamp is a little bit larger. And you can see I thought it might fit on this one, but I tried. No luck. You can see it's going over the edge. So I had to kind of look around, and I found a larger block that we'll use. And this is the 4x5. Let's go ahead and add that to our block. Stick on there really good. And we're going to get something that kind of looks kind of a bright color. Let's get that one too. I can move my machine out of here while we stamp for a second. Excuse me. Get ourselves a little extra workspace. I'm going to put that, actually, usually I don't put this on the table, but I know I'll be here for a minute. All right, so we've got I'll try to zoom in kind of far away. See what happens here. Come on now. Be right there. There we go. Okay, so this is if you're not familiar with it, that's a stamper's secret weapon. We have these on their website, and it just helps. Stephanie always explains, if you just stamp onto a hard surface like this, your results could vary. This little extra cushion really allows you to have a great improvement on your stamping results. So let's get a sheet of, let's go ahead and try some white cardstock here to start off with. And again, this is Floral Hearts to Stamp. You saw there are a number of great ideas for Mother's Day and grandparents and birthday, but we do have Valentine's coming up. So that would be our main thought, Valentine's card making. Coming up, and though we're still here just in December, the middle of February will roll around real soon. Now, this has a lot of fine lines, so we're really going to want to make sure we get a good amount of ink on it and we don't miss any spots. I think on my first stamping yesterday, I just had one little area that was missed, but after that, everything was good. And considering how many lines there are here, there's quite a lot going on there. This stamp works really nice. So let's go ahead and stamp this maybe a couple times. See what we get. So this is a large block. I see I just missed one little spot there. I might have got it on my finger, so I'm going to go back here real quick. Okay, we're going to give this a try. We're going to lay this down, and we want to make sure we push on all the edges. Okay, you don't have to go crazy, but make sure you get all the spots because there are a lot of fine little lines down there. And I did miss some right there, so we're going to try that one again. And a reminder, our stamps are made in the USA. You're going to get some nice impressions out of these. And I'm not sure if on that first stamping that I did, that if I just did not push down hard enough in that area or if I didn't have ink on it. So we'll see what happens on the second round. Okay, we're going to lay that down, push there. I'm going to make sure I get all those smaller flowers. All right, that one looks a lot better. So we have our stamps here, and I still have a little spot there. So you really want to do that. You really want to get all these spots. So I think my stamp is working correctly. It's just I am not pushing down on the stamp at all the right locations. So I'm going to try one more time. Because yesterday I had really good luck with this, so I'm not sure what is going on here. I'm going to go all the way around that side. All the way around that side. Let's see. There we go. So that one, everything came out. You can see I had just a little bit of area here because I did not push down on that. Same thing here. Now I had fixed that. I paid attention and I was able to stamp there, but then you see this one little leaf that I missed there. And I think it did have enough ink, but I just didn't give enough pressure. This time I went all the way around the stamp. With that block, I just went kind of pushed down and made sure I covered all the areas, and it came out just perfect. So there you have the stamp, and let's see, what can we do with that? Of course, you could just cut it out and decorate it. You have the dies that go with it. So let's run a couple of these dies through and see what we can produce with this, what kind of fun combination. So it has an outside die. This one is really nice too. These work together, so you get this real thin type border, and that will cut out this one as well. So let's just run a couple different combinations through our machine to see what we get. Maybe I will look for like a light color pink. I'm not sure if that is pink. That looks kind of cantaloupe-y to me. Peachish. Oh, let's see. Let's go ahead and go the other direction, and we will. No, that won't work either. We don't want to do that. All right, let's see what happens once we run a couple of these different colors through our machine. Get that machine back up here. And again, remember this die set can make a little fold it. Let's see what happens if we try to do that. So if I had some piece of cardstock like this one here, I would just fold that in half. I'm going to zoom back out a little bit now. We're too close with that machine there. Whoops. Awesome. Okay, so say we wanted to try to fold it. We could just take this outside die here, and we would just run that through. And I got a big, I need to really score that. This is a thicker piece of cardstock, so we're going to run that through. I'm sure most of you guys are familiar with our fold-its, but just to show you, again, this does not make an A2 size card, but this is one option. Like if you wanted to make a card front and add this to the front, you could do that. And let's see what we got here. So, oops, there we go. So there is our fold. Now you would have to, again, run it through in order to get rid of that. You have the straight line there, so you see how it creates the fold on this with that die set that we just ran through. This is the outside die. So that is one option, something you can do with this collection. Let's go ahead and run this through here as well. And I'm going to, this is kind of a, what color is this? I'm trying to think. It's not, this color is just not popping into my mind. What color is this? Does anybody know what color of cardstock this is? I can't think of it. It is, hopefully I did that right. It is it razzleberry? That's what I think it is. I think it's razzleberry. I need to run that through one more time because I let the outside die get a little bit off course there. Let's try that one more time. So the outside die, when I ran it through the first time, had overlapped a little bit with the inside die, and that kind of threw things off a bit. Let's try it again. And I just have to be a little more careful. That should work. All right. So this is a kind of fun one. It gets you these cuts out, and then you could potentially leave all the colors in there, or they also can be removed. Some of these little leaves. Let me show you these ones here. And maybe this one will pop out. We'll leave those ones in so we can see 1, 2, 3, 4. And you can layer this, and your whatever you stamp there underneath will come through, which is kind of nice. So you can see you have your, in here, this was a cranberry, I think, that I had used. So that would come through if I'd used a nice white for the front or Valentine's Day colors. I was kind of thinking, but you can get these to come through here. Yesterday I had stamped some blue hearts. So you have different combinations, and they will go right through there. You can see through there, decorate them. You can also, see if I can do this. We have the inside heart, and then we have this nice little leaf here too. So as we had, let's see if we were to add this to this card front. This is not exactly what I did. No, we don't want to do that. Let's say if we were going this direction, I wanted to add it to this front here. I could also potentially add, maybe I want the leaves to actually be green like they're supposed to be. Let me tape this down real quick, and I can show you how we can do that. Oops. There we go. I'm going to go ahead and add that to, we'll just let this be off on its own. So we pretend this is a card front. You have to visualize a little bit. You could also, I think I have some nice green here. This is one of our pearl papers. Then you have this nice little leaf there that you can cut. And I think this will work if I just run it through this way. I think I did do this, tried it out yesterday. We're going to, now these are kind of intricate. There are, I think it just does come with one leaf, so you'd have to run this through a couple times. So let's do that a couple times. This is an easy way to get some of that color to your card, maybe that you'd like to have. There's one. I'm going to do that one more time. And get that popped out of there. So I have two leaves here. And again, I visualize this being like a card front, not just on my sheet here. You can add in a little greenery there. That would fit right in there. And this one would fit right in there. So if you wanted to completely add green leaves to this with whatever color heart you want, you can do that. That is one option. You could layer this on top of a sheet that has the color that you want behind it. Then you could add in extra leaves there. You see the flowers too. These flowers can be popped out if you wanted to add some red roses, some particular color there. So that's kind of some a little bit different paper piecing that you can do. Lots of different options with this. The flowers that I was talking about, it does come with, there are 3 different flowers here included. It has the shadows, and then you have a heart. Let's say you wanted to layer something here on the inside of this one. You could run this through as well. And I'm not good with my color combinations today, so this may not look great, but you could just run this through and you could layer another flower right on top of that one right there. Let's see if we can do it real quick. Again, tons of different options here. Lots you can do with this. If you just like the stamp, you have the stamping option. We had some really nice impressions there. If you really like the die cut and you like the paper piece, you have that. All kinds of different things that you can do with this. So this would layer here too, also on the inside. Let me see if I can get those little leaves back in there. Now these little leaves, you would want to definitely, I think, you could get adhesive onto these, but your best bet would be to use our sheets there. So there's just different options. You think of the colors that you would like. They're probably going to be better than my color selections, but there's a lot of different things that you can do with this. You can layer this and have a lot of fun with it as well. Bunch of different dies. What was the count on the dies? I'm going to guess it had about 8 or, no, I think it was like 12 dies, right? You get quite a lot on this. So you can really have a lot of fun. This will be a valuable one coming up. We're coming into that season where we have moms, weddings, Valentine's Day, anniversaries, all that good stuff. This would be a definitely really nice collection to use at that time. Okay, let's move on. Up next, let's see what we have next here. Switch over to me again. Okay, we are moving on to our next collection. This is called Skinny Mini Alphabet Dies. And there are also, let me switch this real quick. Oh, great, Kimberly, got to use your codes. Awesome. I hope everybody used their extra discount codes. Perfect. Let's see. Give me 1 second here. Find my little. That one is not showing up, huh? Oh, there it is. Got it. I thought I did it. Let me get my name off of here. Sorry about this little delay. Hang in there, bear with me. Oh, where is that? That is under, yes. Okay, got it. There we go. Okay, the Skinny Mini Alphabets, you get a ton in these. All these different items have, here's the symbol set. And all these dies have shadows too. Skinny Mini, that was the Skinny Mini symbol. So like question mark, parenthesis, your hash marks symbol. I call it a pound sign, and plus $sign, lots of those exclamation. Then you get your alphabet set. It has all of the uppercase letters in this one. And both sides is double-sided. So if you get this or you have it and you go, hey, where are the other dice? Check the back. They might be on the back. And then you get numbers as well. So let me show you what we can have with these on the website. All right, so real quick, back on the floral heart dies, there were 12. You get 12 dies with that one. I wanted to make sure I let you know. And what else here? Okay, we're on to the Skinny Mini. Let me find those for you. And this one came out in January of 2021. So we're almost just right at 4 years on this one. I think this is real good value. You get 52 dies in this collection, and the price is $34.99. That is a lot of dies for that price, and you can see the different ideas. I have a lot of these on slim lines. I'll show you some of those samples that I have. There are a lot of slim line samples using these dies. Comes with the shadow, and you can use the dies with or without the shadow. You have the option. Job birthday. There's some using it with our calendar option. I have this as a scrapbook page. I'll show you these samples. There's a video. And then you scroll down. This is one you definitely want adhesive sheets for. And then it shows the numbers and symbols. I see the numbers are getting low. I'm not sure if Stephanie will be reordering these in the future, maybe. But if you don't have it yet, we are down to about 16 of the numbers. And I think there's plenty of the symbols and the alphabet. You might have these already. It's always fun to be able to decorate with letters and words. You can do a lot with these. Let me show you the samples I have. Yeah, real quick here. Did that. Let's see what else. And we talked about that. Awesome. I want to make sure I got in all my questions. I think I did. Great. There we go. Okay, our samples, and I do have a bunch again. This is really awesome. Our design team really liked this one. I'll show you I have that scrapbook page first. And this looks like it's about an 8 by 10 layout here, or 8 by 11 and a half. Is that right? Is that what we use for our standard size card stock? So let me show you these samples that I have. Oh, will that fit in there? So an idea of how you could use your words on a page like that, decorated. It says family, hashtag family. And they've used some others. Together is my favorite way to be, says, and they decorated that real nice. So that's one option. One way you can use these. Here are some A2 size cards that you might like. A card for a friend, just add some flowers there. Great combination. Not using any of the background dies on that, just using not the shadow, but just the letters actually themselves. And then we have just a fun one featuring some of the symbols on there that come in there. And I forget, what is that technique they call that when they cut out the front? Oh, I can't think of what that's called. I know it's on the tip of my tongue. Does anybody remember what that's called? It's not the image. It's, oh gosh, I can't think of what that is called when you cut out the, so you see how that part is just cut out there. What is that called? What is that technique called? You guys got to help me out. Help me out. It's on the tip of my tongue, but I can't figure it out. And then the cutouts you can add there on the inside. Reverse, is it reverse? Reverse image or something like that. Hey, that's a cool card. Easy, simple. Got the shadows on there. And oh, this is perfect. Happy New Year, but it's from 2021. You could swap that out. Isn't that sparkly? Lots of foils. See what you can do with the foils that you have? That card really pops, really stands out there. Did anybody get that? Let me see on our comments. What was that? Shadow, negative. I was thinking negative, Noreen. That's what came to my mind, negative. Carmen says shadow, right. But I think it's negative. That's at least what I was thinking. Okay, here's our slim lines. I think they are all in the vertical and the horizontal sample side here. Sorry, it says. Feel better soon on the inside. That's a rounded corner slim line. Here's a couple square ones. Me plus you equals, and then a couple little hearts there. That's a fun one. Whoop. We are moving. This episode is really going long. I already hit my alarm time. Coffee first, it says. Mr. and Mrs. using the shadow, and This, all the slim lines really look nice with this collection. It gives you a little extra space to work with. Love you, it says. And it's your birthday. So a bunch of different options there. Let's go ahead and head on over and see what we can, what word should I make with these? I was going to do Happy New Year or something, but that would take me forever. So you don't want to watch me do this forever. What short word could I do that has to do? How about let's try the word party. We'll try to do party. And I will try to make these with, I'm going to do the shadow. And I'm also going to use the adhesive sheets because I know it will help me out in the long run. So let's go try these. We're going to try to make the word party because then it has all different letters. Yes, let's give it a try. The word party, that's what we're going to go for here. So you are looking at party, has how many letters? 5. So I got to find all of these. Now I did go ahead and ahead of time I added an adhesive sheet to, this is a like strawberry cranberry color. Let's go ahead and add some adhesive to, this would be our licorice cardstock, which is like a black. And with the adhesive sheet, you just take it here. The instructions are right there. Peel here. And peel off this sheet. And you are just basically making your cardstock into a sticker. So here we're using it as with alphabets, but you could do this with just about any type of image you have. You can make it into basically a sticker. Okay, so we have contrasting colors. Let's see, we'll do the shadow, we'll do in black. And then the letters we'll do in the red. So let's get our letters out. And this might take me a second here, but I will try to do my best to find all of these. I know the A will be on the front, and I think all the other ones are going to be on the back. So if you have this, or if you happen to purchase this on our website, remember the second part of the alphabet is on the back of the backing card. So don't think you're missing letters. They just happen to be on the other side. Okay, there's our A. I'm going to try to pass these out as we go and line them up. So I've got my corner there, our letters, the inside we'll put right there, and then I'm going to separate these out. Hopefully this will help me stay organized and get everything all together. The shadow goes over there. That was our A. Now we need a, let's see, P. And unfortunately, we don't have to line these up. We can just piece them together. Now, if we were doing that negative, we would want them all to be lined up just right. There's a P, and then we need an R next. Suppose if I go in order, I won't miss any, all right? And I almost left one of these the wrong side up. So I had to flip that over. So the blade is facing down. So we've got our P-A-R. Now we are on to a T. I've got my shadow there. I'll leave that over there. And then our letter there. It's real important too that I watch to make sure that I stay on the spots where there is a sticker. Otherwise, these are not going to turn out the way we hope. So I've got my words. I've got the letters for party. Let's see. I have the shadows here, so let's go ahead and try to run those through first. Make sure they stay on. I have one the wrong direction, so make sure I catch that. Yeah, let's see. Come on now. Awesome. There we go. We'll move those out of the way for just a second. And again, as we run these through, this will create our shadows for all of our letters. I think I have that on there pretty well. Okay, here we go. And these dies are so small, you don't have to run all the way through. I'll just go over that bit where they were on my cutting pad, and we should have shadows here. All right, we're off to a good start. There's our different letters. I'll go ahead and put those down there. The trick will be to see if I'm able to actually peel all these in a reasonable amount of time. That will be the trick. The adhesive will be great, but my fingers some of the time kind of fumble with smaller items. Peeling them, you know, like when it's really small and you have to get your fingers on there. My fingers just don't work out well with super small stuff, but we're going to give it a try. Okay, and here are our letters. Got those. And again, we're doing the word party, and that seems kind of appropriate. Here we are. Tonight we'll kind of be having a somewhat of a party on the YouTube, Stephanie, the Stamps of Life YouTube channel and Facebook. So join us for that tonight. Okay, so I've got my letters here. Those should all be popping out. Awesome. I'm going to try to keep these together as much as I can. And let's try our best to get these put together, see what happens. I'm going to get a piece of white cardstock so it'll stand out a little bit. And I kind of want to make sure they kind of line up. So picture that you are on I don't think I have a card base here that I could line these up on, do I really? Here, let's try this. So here's a slim line that I had created a while ago. We're going to zoom in again because we're way out there. And let's try to piece some of these together the best we can. And you're going to want to, of course, measure and make sure they look centered. We don't have that kind of time to do that right now, but that is an option. You would want these to look like they are lined up correctly and not all weird. So it might take a little practice. So you see my fingers. On these ones, I think I can get them. So remember, again, this makes it a sticker. That is the P. We're going to add that there. And then we have a few more. Next up is A. The hard part will be trying to peel those little stickers, the little letters that go in here. The shadow, I think I have a chance. The sticker, the actual letters will be a little more challenging, but here even I have a little bit of nail, but it's hard for me sometimes to peel these. There we go. Of course, if I wore glasses, that might help a lot. Maybe that's what I'll do. Let me grab my glasses while we're here. Because even if my fingers can't exactly do what I want them to do, at least I'll be able to see what I'm doing. So my glasses will help. So let me grab those. Okay, so we have our P and our... If you see me misspelling this, somebody yell at me, okay? Even though I won't hear you, maybe I'll be able to feel it. Say, hey, Ken, you are spelling it wrong. So if you think I'm spelling this word incorrectly, please let me know. That'll look really amateurish if I spell the word party wrong. And here I'm putting the shadows down, and I think I've got all the shadows right, but I could get one wrong here. And then you'll have some word that you can't pronounce. I don't know if you've ever had that happen on any of your projects where you're getting everything all together, maybe use alphabets like this, and in the end, it didn't turn out exactly the way you expected. There was a surprise, and it wasn't a good surprise. Like something went wrong. Every once in a while that happens on our projects. You'll see, like, I have miscut dies on the machines. I've gotten things backwards before. And on an alphabet like this, that is definitely possible. So there's our part. I think we are on the right track. Part, it's got to be a Y, right? That goes up here at the end. And wearing my glasses does help me a little bit, see? So that was a smart move by me. And a smart move for you guys, because now it will speed things up. You won't have to watch me do this for as long. I knew this would be tedious, but I still wanted to show you that how easy it is to do and how important it is to have these adhesive sheets. So that's good. We've got that lined up pretty well. Now we can go ahead, and this will be the more challenging part. I've got all my extra letters here, but these are a little bit finer. And let's see if Ken can do this or not. Wish me luck, or say a prayer, or any of those kind of things, because these are getting really fine. Not so fine as super delicate or anything, but working with that sticker on there will be, for me, a bit of a challenge. So there we have our R, and our T, and our Y, and we need a little tool here to help get these out of there. So that will pop out. Good. There's everything's matching up good so far. And this one should pop out. It's about ready to. Now, can I peel these? This is the test. I need one of those like drum roll things, you know, because this is where it's going to turn out really nice, almost magical, or it's just going to fall apart because trying to get these little letters to peel. And I know Stephanie has some tricks to do this, but I have never learned that trick. Okay, I found a good spot there. This was right at the top where I peeled right there, and it did start to come apart a little bit easier. So let's go ahead and add that on while we have it. There's our A. Let's go P next. I'll try to hold this down a little bit further so it's not. Oh, that one peeled real nice. Now we're on a roll. Got that one. That's going to be our P. And what's up next? I have an R. If I can scoop it up. Now, my word is not centered on the card, and I was fine with that. But you would definitely want to add some decoration to the front of this card to make it look like you wanted your alphabet to be that way, right? If I tried to give a party card out and it was just way off centered, just wouldn't seem right. Somebody would know, hey, he goofed up something. Now let's see on this one, I don't have as many good options. Oh, there we go. Now I'm starting to get the hang of this. So again, this is one of those things that I always say, hey, if Ken can do it, and I am an amateur card maker, you can definitely do it, because I know you guys are all better card makers than me. And I've got my T there. Look at that. All right, so there we have our word. Oh, one did get a little bit loose there. We have our, can I get that zoomed in on there just right? Party. Maybe I can zoom back a little bit. Whoops. And that looks nice on the front of a slimline card. Earlier, I was thinking I was going to do Happy New Year, but you know what? I knew how long that was going to take me, and I rethought that plan, because doing this live, we could be here forever. This is just 5 letters. If I would have done Happy New Year, that would have been 5, 8, like 12 letters. That would have taken a long time. But you can see, whoops, you can see how nice that is. It comes out really good. I would want to burnish these down a little bit. So burnishing, we just mean we could take something like a block and just kind of really smush them down there so they hold on, and the adhesive stays really good. Now, again, on my card, it looks okay as I'm lined up here, and I've got a nice straight line here. Whoops. Straight line here on the bottom. Everything looks good there, but you can see I have a lot of empty space. So here in these areas, I'd want to add some decorations. Otherwise, like on an A2 size card, maybe you would center it. I don't have an A2. Maybe you would take these letters and just center them right on the card. That would fit almost perfect. But on a slimline, you have a little bit extra space. So you'd want to plan that out ahead, how you're going to add your letters to where that it looks okay. Again, I'm nice and lined up. I've got some good amount of space over here. I could decorate that. If it was a New Year's party, I could add some balloons. We have the couple of die sets, I think, that have the wine or champagne glasses. That would look nice on there. These would also look nice if we had used some foil or a maybe one of our pearl papers. Those would make it stand out a little bit. But you can see that's pretty easy. 52 dies, right? Just with the letters. There are also symbols and numbers with that. Those are the skinny mini alphabet dies that we just worked with. And then there are also the numbers and the symbols that go with it. So those are available on the website if you want them, okay? Again, I think this one was my favorite. And again, it's kind of appropriate. New Year's. It just should say 2025 instead of 2021. But a nice idea. It's got a background die here, circle, and the numbers. So those are some different things you can do with that collection. Don't forget that when you use it, you can use it with the shadows, like say with a card like this, you're using the shadows with it, and you can see how they spaced out their letters a little bit different than me. Or you could also go no shadows. So it's just kind of your preference, whatever you like. Lots of freedom with that one. Okay, we're ready to move on to our good news segment. I'm using my regular Bible today. Again, we are in Matthew chapter 19. Let me go ahead and finish that out real quick. Oh, let's see. Yeah, you guys have some good ideas to add. Yeah, Nancy says burnish the letters. Yes, so they stick. You're right, Nancy. That's what you got to do is burnish those. That's some fancy word. That means like smash them and crush them down there, right? So that sticky stuff stays really good in there. Ellen says you kept a space for an image on the end. Yep, I did have enough space. I don't know if I actually planned it that way, but it turned out that way. And then Teresa said a balloon or end at the end of the heart. That would be good. Any of those things would work. So you guys have some good ideas. Party related. So it could have been birthday party. It could have been New Year's party, whatever. Going away party, all kinds of different things. So lots of good options there. Let's see. If you didn't know about the discount codes, I think the only one that would still work, somebody was asking me, Julie, that was if you are a Card Kit Club member. So each club member, we sent out discount codes that were good during the month of December. But I think if you're Fold It Club or Die Hard Club or Stamp Club, those have expired. It's possible that the card kit one might still work because we didn't send out the card kits to the 15th. So if you're in the Card Kit Club, you do have a possibility of being able to use the discount code. I'm not 100% sure about that, but that's where the codes came from. Okay, let me find this. Let's get rid of that. And we're going to go ahead and add that one on there. Great. Take Two Tuesday, but this is our good news segment, Matthew chapter 19. So again, as we're finishing the year, maybe this will be the year that if you don't normally read your Bible, maybe this is the only time that you're getting into God's Word. This is great. This is a start. This little devotional that we will do, but maybe this will be the year that you want to really start to read the Bible for yourself. And as we're reading one of the Gospels, Matthew, maybe you want to read Matthew, Mark, Luke, or John. It has a lot of information about Jesus. The book of Acts, this is all New Testament, talks about the early church. That's kind of an interesting book. And then there's the Old Testament books like Genesis, where God creates the world, and we have Old Testament heroes and famous names, people you would know. You can find them back then. But anywhere you want to start to read your Bible is a good thing. So that's what we're doing. We're finishing off 2024 reading God's Word together. And I think that it can have a positive impact on us today, and then going into the new year, if we want to make it a practice of spending more time with God by reading his word. This is a great way to do it here. But if you can get it going, plan for yourself. There are Bible reading plans out there. Like if you have one of the apps, they'll have programs set up for you where you could potentially read the whole Bible through in 1 year. Or maybe you just want to slow down and just read like we're doing here. This is us going through Matthew is going to take us about half a year. If you want to read Matthew in a month, you could just read like a chapter a day, and that would be 28 days because it has 28 chapters. So there's all kinds of options, but maybe this is that one thing that you want to do as you're thinking of the new year. Think about that. Okay, we're going to do our overview here now. I need my glasses again. They came in handy over there at the die cutting table, working with those, working with the smaller dies. It did help me out to have my glasses. I have to remember that. But we have these teachings. We'll do the overview, and then the past part we're going to focus on will actually be verses 16 through 22. Is this rich young guy encounters Jesus, and we'll focus on that. But let's do our overview real quick. So starting with verse 1 through 10, it talks about marriage and divorce. And the best thing, of course, is to, once married, is to stay married. And that's God's best plan. But they were kind of challenging Jesus about this. They had this one group of people who wanted you to be able to divorce for any reason. And then another more conservative group who read it as you should only divorce in like the case of adultery. And so they came and asked Jesus, and they said, Moses gave us this law that man could divorce his wife. But Jesus says, God has put marriages together, and it's not up to people to tear them apart. So he's basically saying, divorce is not a good thing. It happens. Maybe it's happened to some of you. It doesn't mean that you're less in God's eyes or anything, but God's best plan is that once we get married is that our marriage continues and grows strong and healthy. And not all marriages turn out that way, and not all marriages are smooth sailing, but God does want us to kind of work out these things and avoid divorce if possible. And the main reason is, divorce damages a lot of people. The two people who are married, their children or grandchildren. Like I know a couple who got divorced who go to our church. Well, now one of them doesn't go to our church anymore. And they would feel uncomfortable being there with the person there that they had divorced still goes there. So it's just kind of weird dynamics, can mess up things in friendships. It says that the two become one. Well, now two people become one. They're really tied together and knit together. And when you tear it apart, it can be really damaging. So Jesus says it's best just not to divorce. And then the guys say, hey, well, if we shouldn't be getting divorced, his disciples say, maybe we shouldn't be getting married. And Jesus said, well, there are some people that God has created that way. So, most people end up getting married, but some people don't. And that's fine. God has made us all uniquely different. And some people are just kind of designed to have a healthy and full life just being single. There is no group of people, no particular group of people where it's like one group of people is better than the other. That's not how God sees it. If you're married, awesome. That's a great plan. If you can be single and you feel comfortable being a single person, then more power to you. God has created us all to be different. So we don't want to look down on one group of people, or maybe somebody who's been divorced. We don't really necessarily look down on them. We're not better than them. And if we see somebody who's never gotten married and we wonder, hey, why didn't they ever get married? Maybe that's just how God created them to be. That doesn't make them less of a person. So just know that whatever situation you're in, if you're married, awesome. If your marriage didn't make it, God forgives, seek God and maybe learn from that experience. And then if you've never gotten married and you don't plan to, that's fine too. God has a plan for you, and being single and in a not married situation, that's perfect. That's how God made you to be. And then it says, goes right from marriages and being married or not, it talks about children. And they wanted to bring the children to Jesus, and the disciples are kind of trying to keep them away from Jesus. But no, Jesus welcomes the kids. Anytime we read about Jesus and the kids, he's always welcoming to them. And it says he laid his hands on them, probably prayed for them, blessed them. I'm sure that must have been awesome to have Jesus lay his hands on you, and what an impact it probably made on the lives of those kids, I would think, correct? And then we go down to our main section. We'll skip that for now, verse 16 to 22, and we'll come back with it. And then this awesome verse, and you guys have probably heard it, is verse... So they were talking about rich people, it's hard for them to make it into God's kingdom. And in these times, they felt like if you were a rich person, you were being blessed by God. And so maybe you had more favor with God. And just the opposite, if you were poor and didn't have much, they thought that God was against you. Neither one of these were true. God doesn't base his favor on us by the amount of wealth we have, or prosperity, or our health, or our jobs, or our careers. Or that's not how God views things. So if you have a lot and God's blessing you, awesome. If you have just a little and it's kind of a struggle, awesome. God loves you. Either situation, God loves you just the same. He's not, one person might be experiencing more blessings than another, but it doesn't mean that God loves one group of people more than the other. So remember that. There's no real, in God's eyes, there's no social classes like that, where we have the upper class, middle class, lower class, those who are in poverty. There's no difference in God's eye. God loves all these people just the same. But it says, so Jesus said, it's likely that rich people aren't going to make it into heaven. So that's kind of a dangerous thing. In the opposite way, we think we're going, now I am rich and I have a lot, so I'm going to thank God and praise God. And I know all these blessings are from God, but that is not usually how we work. When we have a lot, we start to drift away from God. And so you can see the problem for rich people, there can be a lot of distractions. And though you would think that being blessed and having a lot would make you want to be more thankful and be drawn closer to God, it can actually work the other way. Jesus says it's hard for a rich person to enter the kingdom of God. And again, it's just based on not because they're rich, it's because I think they have distractions and things that draw them away from God. Now they have money to go do this or buy this, and they don't have that situation where they have to rely on God because they already have so much. And I think they can drift away from God. So it's a dangerous position to be in. And but so the disciples thought, well, rich people are going to make it into heaven. But Jesus said, not because they're rich. And then so they're all, wow, that's not good either. Who can be saved? They said, if the rich people aren't going to get saved, then none of us are going to make it to heaven. But Jesus said, but with men, this is impossible. This is verse 26. But with God, all things are possible. So this is a super important verse. Here in the context, it talks about salvation. God can save people, whether they're rich or poor. Again, it doesn't matter our financial situation, our material situation. But if you apply this to other areas of our life, with men, this is impossible. But with God, all things are possible. So know that anything that I think is impossible, or anything that you feel is impossible, there's just no way this is going to, whatever situation is, something bad's happened to us. We're in big trouble. Things are falling apart. And it seems like there's no answers. There's no way I could fix it. There's no way you could fix it. It seems impossible, but it says right here, but with God, all things are possible. So if you find yourself in that situation where you don't see any way escape, you don't see any way of things getting better, there's nothing you can do about it yourself, go to God. And this would be something you want to pray about and say, God, I'm in a situation where I can't do anything for myself. I'm trusting in you and leaning upon you. And I believe that your word says that all things are possible with you. It's the power of God. If you think of anything he can't do, now, of course, there's he can't do bad things. He can't lie. He can't commit sin, those kind of things. But as far as positive, good things, changing outcomes, healing people, working in people's lives, anything, I'm telling you, anything is possible with God. That's awesome. And so that was that last bit there. And so we want to go back to verse 16, and I think I have the verses. So if you have your Bible, go back to verse 16, and let's read that together. It says, "Now behold, one came and said to him, 'Good teacher, what good thing shall I do that I might have eternal life?'" So he comes with Jesus. Great question. He says, he's thinking beyond just this life. I want eternity. I want to be a part of God's kingdom. Awesome question. So Jesus said to him, "Why do you call me good? No one is good but one, and that is God. But if you want to enter into life, keep the commandments." And he said to him, so the young guy, he said to him, "Which ones?" And Jesus said to him, "You shall not murder, you shall not commit adultery, you shall not steal, you shall not bear false witness, honor your father and your mother, and you shall love your neighbor as yourself." Let me get the next slide. The young man said to him, "All these things I have kept from my youth. What do I still lack?" And Jesus said to him, "If you want to be perfect, go and sell what you have and give to the poor, and you will have treasure in heaven. Come and follow me." But when the young man heard that saying, he went away sorrowful, for he had great possessions. We had kind of touched on this just prior to this, that see how wealth and riches can cause problems. Here's this guy, real quick, that he's blessed. He has a lot as far as wealth, possessions. It says that he's young. Another part of, I think it's in Luke, where he's also called a ruler. So this guy has power. He has wealth. He's young. It seems like he's got it all together, right? Everything is going his way. But he still kind of has that feeling inside that he's missing something. So Jesus says, "Hey, have you done all these things?" And Jesus basically gives him the 10 Commandments. And it's kind of a little bit kind of funny. Like I'm sure everybody was kind of laughing a little bit. But Jesus gave him this list. He said, "Oh yeah, Jesus, I've done all those things." Could he have really done all of those things? I don't think so. But at least according to his own standards, he probably thought he was living a pretty good life. And so he says, at least according to his standards, he felt that he was right with God. So what else do I have to do to enter into God's kingdom? And then Jesus challenges him. He says, "If you want to be perfect, go and sell what you have and give to the poor." So here this guy had a lot. And what was his response to Jesus? It says he didn't say, "All right, I'm going to do it. I'm going to go give up this or do that. I'm going to follow your command, Jesus, and go sell everything that I have and follow you." No, it says that he went away sorrowful, for he had great possessions. So what had happened to him? He decided that he would, to a point, follow Jesus, but what Jesus was asking him was too much. Now, does Jesus ask all of us to sell everything we have or give up everything that we have and follow him? No. But for some of us, there might be a point in life that Jesus asks us to leave or give up something. Or maybe it is that we're called to give up all our possessions and our wealth and follow him. It's very possible, but this is not the norm. This guy's one issue, it sounds like his one thing, was his possessions, his material wealth. And as he goes away sorrowful, because he had so much, he couldn't part with that and follow Jesus. So my question for you and for me, if Jesus asks us to completely leave something or give up something, would we be willing to do it? Would we be willing to do it? And I don't think that we might know how we would respond until we were placed in that position. But if there was one thing that Jesus just said, "You have to change this, or you have to do this, or you have to make this change in your life. You have to give up, I don't know, maybe a job or a relationship or maybe the focus of my life is material things, or maybe I just want to go out and have fun all the time, and at the exclusion of following Jesus, would I be willing to give up any of those things? That's a hard question, right? So definitely something that would challenge each of us, and each of us, we just have to search our own hearts. Is there anything in our lives that is more important than following Jesus? But here's the real key. This is what I really want to focus on. So that kind of gives a general idea of what was happening there. But you notice when the guy, he leaves and walks away, that Jesus doesn't go after him. He doesn't pursue him. He doesn't try to call him back. Hey, come on, let's talk about this, or let's reason about this. It just says that Jesus lets this young man go away in this sorrowful state. When we want to have a relationship with God, God gives us I'm sure you've heard, free will. That means your right to choose whether you will follow Jesus or not, whether you will be a servant of God. It is up to you. You have the choice. The Bible certainly teaches that we have a choice to follow God. He's not going to make us. And so Jesus doesn't try to persuade this guy. He doesn't go and try to reason. He doesn't threaten him like, hey, there's consequences if you choose to go after your riches instead of following me. No, he just lets him walk away. So I want you to think about that, as far as we have free will and we get to decide whether we want to follow God or if we want to go do our own thing. Now, with that comes a lot of responsibility, correct? Because the decisions that we make today can impact our future, and not only our future here on earth, but also our future for all of eternity. So we have this great responsibility. We get to decide ourselves. Do I want to place my faith in Jesus, my trust in him, and follow him? Or do I just want to go and live my own life and do my own thing? We have that freedom. It's great to have freedom. I'm glad that God didn't make us robots where we just have to love him and we're forced to do it. That wouldn't be fun. But on the other end, now we put ourselves in a little bit of a dangerous position because we have the option, the choice to follow him. So I hope as you are finishing up this year, hopefully on a good note, maybe you haven't decided to follow Jesus yet. But here we are. We're starting a new year. This could be the best day ever. As we finish off this year, you can put your faith in Jesus today, tonight, first thing tomorrow. I would recommend right now, this is the best time, excuse me. But you get to choose to follow him. So I hope that you might make that step. It's up to you. You get to decide. God's calling you. He wants you to be a part of his family and his kingdom, but it's up to you. You get to make the choice. Now, if you are already a Christian, great. Is there anything holding you back from being all in, being completely devoted to following Jesus? And then what would it look like? What would your life look like? What kind of changes might you make to be more committed to following the Lord? What could God do through you or do through me if we were all in, completely, totally? We didn't let anything hold us back. Nothing about our lives, fear, what other people might say, expectations, disappointments. We didn't let anything hold us back. We just decided, hey, this is going to be the time that we're all in. Let's think about doing that. Maybe starting now, or maybe we won't necessarily call it a resolution, but maybe this will be the year that we decide to completely follow the Lord. So again, we get to choose. It's up to us. It's wonderful to have that freedom, but again, with freedom comes responsibility. So the Lord gives us this opportunity. Let's take advantage of it. Let's take advantage of it and make the choices that would be beneficial, definitely to us. It'd be wise to choose the Lord today. We don't know what tomorrow would bring, but not only would it make a difference in our lives, but as we're loving God and serving God, so also, as we've always talked about before, is also going to cause us to love people that God puts in our lives. And I believe that God will really honor that. Whoops. Why is that not switching? God will really honor that if you decide to completely follow him, as like we've been talking about here. So we have that option. We have that freedom. Let me see what is, I lost my cover there. Great. Read that passage over. Don't go away sorrowful. Let's seek the Lord today. Let's figure out how we can put him first in our lives. Maybe for some of us, again, for the very first time, maybe for us, just drawing closer, for some of us, just drawing closer in a deeper relationship with the Lord. And again, I think good ways to do that is reading our Bible, praying, hopefully going to a good church, having some good, strong Christian friends. These are different ways that God can work in each of our lives. So we have a new year. Let's again finish up the year on a positive, awesome note. And then let's get the new year started. Let's get the new year started in a really awesome way. You have the freedom to do that right now. So I hope you would take advantage of that. Okay, that is a wrap. Super long today. All that die cutting and stamping, I know, pushed things along a little bit longer than I expected, but I hope you had a good time. And then I hope to see all of you again tonight. We'll be back for, it's not Stephanie's Crafting Corner, but we'll be back to our live release tonight and our club reveal. So we'll have some fun. That is about, 5 or 6 hours away. So put that on your schedule, and I will see you there. Again, I hope 2024 was a fantastic year for all of you. And if not, maybe you just got through. Maybe you just got through the year. That happens some of the time too, but we made it. And now 2025 is coming up. Let's see. Let's look forward to having an awesome year together, right? And let's have an awesome year as we I don't know, we have friendships like this. We craft, make cards together. I always know that cards make a difference when you mail out a card, and it can impact somebody else's life in a positive way. So your card making skills can be used that way. And then let's just see ways that we can get closer to God, let him work in our lives, and us with the freedom to choose, follow him with all of our hearts, and see what exciting things he will do. Remember that verse that we read earlier? It's like things they might be impossible with us, but with God, all things are possible. God can do amazing things. All right, have a wonderful rest of the day. See you later tonight. And that is a wrap. Take care. Thanks again for joining me. Bye-bye.